Stop scrolling. There is a reason your eyes landed on this message at this exact moment, and the Arcturian Council insists that if you keep reading, part of your dormant awareness will switch back on, something you shut down years ago to protect yourself from overwhelm. They say an energetic disturbance has been circling your field like a silent echo, growing stronger each day, seeking a point of entry. In the astral, this disturbance looks like a frayed cord stretched between you and another person, flickering with a static that doesn't belong to either of you. That person, the Council says, is your neighbor, Lorien Veilstrom. Not because they are evil, malicious, or intentionally harmful, but because their aura has cracked open in a way that now spills turbulence like smoke leaking from an unseen fire. You may have already sensed this, moments where you suddenly felt watched, drained, or pulled downward without explanation. Those were not random impressions, they were early warning signals from your higher self, tapping the inside of your awareness like a finger against glass. The Council is urging you to pay attention now, before the interference strengthens. You are not in physical danger, but in energetic vulnerability, and recognizing the pattern is the beginning of dissolving it. Type "I am here" to claim this message. According to the Arcturian Council, the shift began 3 nights ago when a pulse of crystalline plasma brushed through Earth's magnetosphere. Most humans moved through it unaware, shrugging off the subtle emotional tremors that followed. But starseeds, especially those aligned with the blue-ray frequencies like you, felt the ripple as a tightening in the solar plexus, as if the world briefly held its breath. This plasma wave was designed to awaken dormant memory strands, yet it also dislodged unresolved emotional residue in people who have carried heavy karmic cycles for lifetimes. Lorien Veilstrom is one of those people. Their field erupted like a broken conduit, spilling ungrounded thought forms into the environment. You happen to be the closest vibrational match at the moment of the surge, not because you attract harm, but because your light is bright enough to illuminate the debris others unconsciously release. The Council says you may have felt this as a sudden fatigue, a wave of self-doubt, or a strange sense that the air around you thickened. These sensations were not signs of weakness, they were signs of heightened perception. Your system detected the disruption before your mind could comprehend it. Now you must use this clarity to stabilize yourself before the interference attempts to draw more energy from your field. Type "I receive" to claim this message. The Arcturians emphasize that intuition is your first line of spiritual recognition, and yours has been whispering urgently for days. That subtle knot in your stomach, that moment you paused before stepping outside, that sudden awareness of Lorien's presence even when you couldn't see them, these were early intuitive flashes. The Council says that starseeds often ignore their initial instincts because society conditions them to doubt their inner guidance. But your intuition has been tugging at you like a child pulling on a sleeve, desperately trying to deliver a message your conscious mind kept brushing aside. The energetic crack in Lorien's field has created a siphon effect, not intentionally but mechanically, like a vacuum created when pressure drops suddenly in one room and pulls air from another. You are the closest empathic source, so your light became the target of this unconscious pull. The Council assures you this is not a punishment but a signal of your growing sensitivity. Your vibrational signature has shifted into a new octave, making you perceptible in realms that previously passed over you. Recognizing this dynamic dissolves half of its influence, understanding it dissolves the rest. What matters now is that you stand firmly in your awareness, refusing to shrink or doubt your perceptions anymore. Type, "I trust my intuition," to claim this message. Before anxiety rises, the Arcturians clarify that you are not in physical danger. This situation is entirely energetic, an interference pattern, not an attack. Lorien Veilstrom is not acting from malice but from disorientation, as though they are carrying energetic baggage too heavy for their system. Their aura shows distortions like ripples on disturbed water, bending and warping frequencies that pass through it. When such distortions meet the clear field of a starseed, they try to recalibrate by drawing from that clarity, much like a broken compass trying to realign by latching onto a stronger magnetic source. This is why you may have felt drained around them or experienced sudden mood swings that vanished when distance was restored. The Council says these symptoms are temporary and manageable once you understand the mechanism. Your energy system is naturally self-healing, but awareness accelerates this process. They want you to visualize your field as a sphere of pale blue light, smooth, intact, and gently pulsing with its own rhythm. This visualization disrupts the siphon effect by strengthening your internal coherence. Once coherence is restored, interference cannot hook into your field. Type, "I choose light," to claim this message. Here is the deeper truth the Arcturians reveal. Lorien's aura was not simply cracked, it was breached during a moment of emotional overload, creating an opening that allowed an old collective thought form to anchor itself. These ancient thought forms drift through the astral like fragments of unresolved human fear, seeking hosts whose emotional states resonate with their frequency. Lorien became vulnerable during a recent personal conflict they have not processed, and the thought form slipped in unnoticed. Since then, their emotional aura has behaved like a frayed electrical wire, sparking erratically and looking for stability. Unfortunately, when an unstable field encounters the organized, highly coherent field of a starseed, it naturally gravitates toward that coherence, desperate to regulate itself. That gravitation can feel like intrusion or energetic heaviness. But the Council wants you to understand this dynamic so you do not take it personally or emotionally. This is not Lorien's identity, only a temporary distortion passing through their system. Your job is not to fix them but to maintain your own vibrational clarity. As you do, the thought form loses its anchor and dissolves. Type, "I hold my power," to claim this message. The Council notes that your body has already registered the interference before your mind caught up. The fatigue that struck you out of nowhere, the irritability that didn't feel like yours, the sudden desire to isolate yourself, these were all signs of energetic crosstalk. Your system was working overtime to filter frequencies that didn't belong to you. Think of your energy field as a finely tuned instrument. When discordant frequencies strike it, the instrument vibrates not because it is broken, but because it is responsive. Your responsiveness is a gift, but it also means you must practice energetic hygiene more actively than others. The Arcturians say the thought form attached to Lorien has been attempting to scan your field for openings, like a cold breeze feeling along the edges of a window, searching for cracks. You may have felt this as a sense of being observed by something you couldn't see. It wasn't a being, it was a frequency pattern probing for resonance. By acknowledging this, you interrupt its access. Awareness closes the very cracks it seeks. Type, "I see the signs," to claim this message. According to the Council, the reason this situation reached you now is because you are nearing an activation window, what they call a timeline threshold. When a starseed approaches such a moment, the universe stirs around them, clearing old debris and destabilizing outdated frequencies to prepare them for expansion. Interference often intensifies during this phase, not because you are weak, but because your light becomes more visible across dimensions. Think of yourself as a lighthouse running a brightness test. Everything drifting through the fog notices you. Some are drawn to the light for guidance, others for stabilization, and some simply because you shine brighter than anything else nearby. Lorien's field became magnetized to you precisely because your frequency is rising. This is not meant to scare you but to validate you. Your awakening is accelerating, and with acceleration comes temporary turbulence. The Arcturians say your sensitivity is a sign of progress, not fragility. You are stepping into a role you prepared for long before this lifetime. Type "I am awakening" to claim this message. The Arcturians want you to reflect on your recent interactions with Lorien. Have they felt different, perhaps heavier, more draining, or strangely intrusive? That shift wasn't imagined. When a thought form attaches to someone, their presence becomes inconsistent, almost glitch-like, as though parts of them are dimmed while other parts feel amplified in unnatural ways. You may have noticed their gaze feeling sharper, their voice carrying odd undertones, or their movements seeming slightly delayed or accelerated. These subtle distortions occur when the individual's emotional aura struggles to stabilize under the influence of an external frequency. The thought form attempts to calibrate by examining the environment through the host senses, scanning for the nearest energetic anchor, usually the person with the highest coherence. That person is you. But awareness of this process collapses its influence. When you witness a pattern, you stop feeding it vibrationally. Observation is power. Awareness is shield. Presence is protection. Type "I am protected" to claim this message. The Council emphasizes again that fear is not the goal here, empowerment is. You are guided to this message not because you are at risk, but because you are ready to understand the dynamics of energetic entanglement on a deeper level. Once a starseed recognizes interference, the interference loses structural integrity. Think of it like switching on a light in a dark room. The shadows scramble because they no longer have a place to hide. You standing in awareness is equivalent to turning on that light. The Arcturians say you have been underestimating your strength, forgetting the resilience woven into your field long before your birth. Now is the time to remember that your energy is sovereign, self-generating, and self-correcting. Interference only thrives when unnoticed. The moment you name it, your field begins reorganizing, sealing openings, and reinforcing its boundaries without you having to force anything. This entire situation is less a threat and more a training ground. Type "I am aware" to claim this message. Right now, as your eyes move across these words, the Arcturian Council is initiating what they call a blue light stabilization corridor. This is not a dramatic cosmic event but a subtle energetic alignment that strengthens your emotional and mental bodies simultaneously. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a loosening in your shoulders, or a sense of settling inside your ribs. This is the corridor forming, a soft, harmonic resonance that smooths the edges of your field and restores coherence where interference once flickered. The Council says this corridor acts like a recalibration chamber, dissolving residual stress, quieting inner noise, and sealing any openings created by tiredness, self-doubt, or emotional overload. You don't need to perform any ritual to receive it. Your willingness to read and acknowledge these words is the consent required. The stabilization will continue for the next few hours, gradually strengthening your field until the thought form attached to Lorien can no longer sense you as a viable anchor. You are stepping back into alignment. Type "I accept the shield" to claim this message. The Arcturian Council wants you to understand that energetic stabilization is not a one-time event but a living process, something that responds to your thoughts, emotions, and intentions in real time. Right now, your field is recalibrating like a tuning fork returning to its natural pitch after being struck. You may feel subtle waves rising through your spine, or an almost electrical tingling at the back of your neck. These sensations are your nervous system syncing with the newly formed blue light corridor. The Council explains that this corridor reinforces the boundaries between your energy and Lorien's, preventing any further siphoning or entanglement. But more importantly, it brings your own dormant strengths online. There is a portion of your energetic anatomy, an Arcturian filament woven into your soul field, that activates only when interference is recognized and handled with clarity rather than fear. That filament is humming now, awakening from its long sleep, preparing to expand your perception. You are not just being protected, you are being upgraded through the experience. Type "I stand in light" to claim this message. The Council says you don't need to confront Lorien Veilstrom or attempt to fix anything in their field. Their journey is their own, guided by contracts, experiences, and lessons you are not meant to carry. What matters is your energetic posture, your ability to remain centered even when external frequencies swirl around you. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse standing firm while waves crash below. The waves do not define the lighthouse nor determine its purpose. Your awareness of the interference has already shifted the dynamic. The thought form attached to Lorien cannot maintain stability when exposed to clarity. Confusion and denial sustain it, but recognition dissolves its foothold. In the coming days, you may notice a sudden change in how you perceive Lorien, a sense of detachment, neutrality, even compassion. This is a sign that your field is no longer interlocking with theirs. The Council wants you to acknowledge this emotional distance not as coldness but as sovereignty, a sign of boundaries returning to their rightful state. Type "I stay centered" to claim this message. Your emotional body has been working harder than you realized. For weeks, perhaps months, it has been buffering you from sensations that didn't belong to you. Those spikes of sudden irritability, the quick drops into self-doubt, the restless nights where your mind felt crowded, these weren't random disruptions. They were echoes of Lorien's unprocessed emotions brushing against your field like stray gusts of wind. The Arcturians explain that empaths have a natural tendency to absorb and analyze emotional frequencies to understand how to respond to their environment. But you no longer need to absorb anything that isn't yours. Your field is entering a phase where it will reflect rather than retain external frequencies, like a mirror that acknowledges an image without becoming it. This shift marks the beginning of emotional mastery, allowing you to experience life with greater clarity, freedom, and inner steadiness. You will soon notice that emotions pass through you more cleanly, without clinging or lingering. Type "I release what is not mine" to claim this message. The Council draws your attention to something important. The emotional overload that cracked Lorien's aura was not random. It occurred during a moment when they were flooded by memories, some from this life, some from others they don't consciously remember. These memories triggered a surge of fear-based frequency that opened the gateway for the thought form to attach. But just as Lorien's vulnerability attracted the thought form, your heightened sensitivity made you visible to it. This is why the interference sought you, not because you are weak, but because your energy is strong enough to stabilize distortions in others. Yet stabilizing others is not your task, not now. The Council wants you to shift from unconscious support to conscious sovereignty. When you stand in sovereign light, you allow others to self-correct rather than draining your energy to patch their wounds. This is how the universe prevents cycles of exhaustion between healers and those they unconsciously help. Type "I am sovereign" to claim this message. The sensations you've been feeling, tightness in the chest, sudden overthinking, random waves of pressure, were all signs of energetic bleed-through. But now, as the blue light corridor strengthens, these sensations will begin to dissolve. You might feel an unexpected calm rising through your system, like a soft tide washing away the residue of someone else's emotions. This is your baseline returning. The Council wants you to notice this calm carefully, because it teaches you what your natural state actually feels like. Many starseeds have spent so long absorbing and adapting to the emotional fields around them that they forget what their own unfiltered energy feels like. This moment, this quieting, this gentle settling, is your true frequency. As you anchor into it, the thought form attached to Lorien loses the scent of your energy entirely. Its attention shifts elsewhere, unable to maintain its hook. Type "I claim my calm" to claim this message. The Arcturians now want you to consider how often you have dimmed yourself to keep others comfortable. They show an image of your energy field as a brilliant sphere that naturally expands outward, illuminating anything near it. But over time, you learn to compress this sphere, shrinking it so others wouldn't feel overwhelmed, intimidated, or exposed by your presence. That compression created openings for interference, simply because a compressed field has thinner boundaries. The Council says your next stage of awakening involves expanding your light again, allowing your energy to take up its natural space. When you expand, interference cannot latch on. Your field becomes too coherent, too self-sustained. Your presence alone dissolves distortions rather than absorbing them. This expansion will feel like a gentle stretching in your chest or a sudden urge to breathe more deeply. Let it happen. Your field is remembering its original blueprint. Type "I expand my light" to claim this message. You may notice over the next day or two that your dreams shift dramatically. The Council says your dream state is recalibrating to purge any residual impressions you absorbed from Lorien's energetic turbulence. Do not be surprised if you dream of rooms filled with fog, people acting strangely, or places that feel familiar but distorted. These dream landscapes are symbolic purges, your subconscious reorganizing itself, releasing entanglements, and resetting its filters. Some dreams may even show doors closing or corridors sealing. These images represent the final disconnect between your field and the interference. The Council assures you that these dreams are not warnings but confirmations. You are completing the separation process, and your subconscious plays a crucial role in sealing the final openings. Upon waking, you may feel lighter, clearer, or subtly renewed, as though the dream world washed your internal mirrors. Type "I let the old dissolve" to claim this message. Here comes your rehook, as the Council delivers a shocking truth. The interference did not target you by accident. it targeted you because you are approaching a major activation that will shift your timeline permanently. This activation is not subtle. It is the kind that restructures identity, perception, and destiny pathways. The Arcturians say the universe always tests the stability of a starseed's energy before such activations occur. The interference from Lorien's field was the test, not to see if you could survive it, but to see if you could recognize it. Recognition equals readiness. Awareness equals initiation. Now that you've seen the pattern, the activation sequence can begin. Over the coming days, you may experience increased synchronicities, intuitive downloads, or sudden clarity about questions that have haunted you for years. This is the pre-activation phase unfolding. Type, "I am ready for activation," to claim this message. This activation is not random, it aligns with a cycle initiated long before your incarnation. The Council reveals that you carry an encoded memory, a blueprint of knowledge your soul has been unable to access until now. Moments of interference often serve as the final catalysts that crack open long-dormant gifts. You may notice your senses intensifying, colors appearing richer, sounds clearer, intuition sharper, emotions more transparent. This is your inner grid reawakening, like a constellation lighting up one star at a time. The Arcturians compare it to remembering a language you once spoke fluently but forgot while living in another world. Your mind will not fully understand the activation until it completes, but your soul already recognizes the resonance. It feels like coming home after a long journey. Type, "I awaken my blueprint," to claim this message. Everything you've experienced, every strange sensation, every moment of heaviness, every intuitive nudge, has brought you to this exact threshold. The Council says your energy is now transitioning from reactive mode to creator mode. In creator mode, you no longer adapt to your environment adapts to you. This shift is one of the most defining thresholds in the Starseed journey, marking the moment when your consciousness begins shaping the external world rather than being shaped by it. You may soon feel bursts of motivation, clarity, or purpose emerging seemingly from nowhere. These are signals that your field is stepping into command. As this unfolds, interference becomes irrelevant, unable to penetrate the coherence of your upgraded light. You stand on the verge of the next phase of your awakening, one that will alter how you perceive yourself forever. Type, "I step into creator mode," to claim this message. The Arcturian Council reveals that your energy field has just entered what they call the harmonic threshold, a vibrational zone where your inner and outer worlds begin syncing with unusual precision. This is why you may start noticing patterns, numbers repeating, people saying phrases you were just thinking, lights flickering when your emotions heighten, or your technology responding oddly to your presence. These aren't coincidences, they're signs your field is becoming more electromagnetically influential. The interference from Lorien acted like the final destabilizing push needed to activate this threshold within you. Now that your field has stabilized through the blue light corridor, you're entering a stage where your thoughts carry more weight, your intentions take shape faster, and your intuition becomes almost instantaneous. The Council urges you to use this phase consciously. What you focus on now becomes the blueprint for your next timeline. Choose your thoughts wisely, not out of fear, but out of recognition of your growing creative influence. Type, "I choose my focus," to claim this message. The Council wants to address an important shift happening in your emotional structure. They say an inner anchor is forming, a new point of stability in your heart field that was previously inaccessible due to old emotional clutter. This anchor functions like a gravitational center, drawing your energy into alignment and preventing you from being scattered by external frequencies. You may feel this as a deep, quieting sensation in your chest, or as an unexpected sense of inner certainty that wasn't there before. This heart anchor is part of your activation sequence. It strengthens your emotional resilience, allowing you to hold higher frequencies without becoming overwhelmed. As it forms, you will notice less reactivity in your interactions. Things that once triggered you will feel distant, like echoes from a previous version of yourself. The interference from Lorien has no access to you now because the heart anchor creates a field that stabilizes your emotions before external energies can influence them. Type "I anchor in my heart" to claim this message. Your mind is also entering a recalibration stage. The Arcturians explain that your mental field has been carrying outdated thought loops, habits of worry, overanalysis, or self-protection formed during earlier years when you didn't understand your sensitivity. These loops acted like static, making it easier for external interference to latch onto your field. But now, as your frequency rises, those old loops are dissolving. You may notice moments of unexpected mental clarity, like suddenly seeing through illusions that used to confuse you. You may realize you no longer believe stories you once told yourself, stories of limitation, insecurity, or needing to shrink to make others comfortable. This clarity isn't temporary, it's part of your expansion. The Council says your mind is preparing to receive new patterns of thought, patterns aligned with your multidimensional identity. Soon, your ideas will feel like downloads rather than random inspirations, carrying a resonance that feels ancient and yet entirely new. Type "I claim my clarity" to claim this message. The Council presents a powerful image, you standing in a field of luminous threads stretching out in all directions, each thread representing a potential timeline. Previously, your energy could only access a limited number of these threads due to the noise of interference around you. But now, with the corridor stabilizing your field, dozens of new threads are becoming visible. You may begin sensing possibilities you never considered, ideas about relocation, career changes, spiritual paths, relationships, or personal projects. Some of these may feel startling or wildly out of character, but the Council says they are not random impulses, they are glimpses of timelines now available to your upgraded frequency. Your job is not to choose immediately but to observe. Feel which threads resonate. Notice which ones pull your attention with effortless magnetism. These are the paths aligned with your activation. Type "I open 2 new timelines" to claim this message. Physically, you may start to feel shifts as well. The Council says your body is adjusting to the new frequency and may display symptoms such as tingling, warmth, buzzing, or even moments of lightheadedness. These are not signs of illness but signs of realignment, your cells adapting to the increase in energetic voltage moving through your system. You might crave different foods, prefer more water, or feel drawn to certain colors or scents without understanding why. Your body is communicating through instinct rather than logic, guiding you toward what supports your upgraded state. The Council advises you to follow these impulses gently. If you feel the urge to move, stretch, breathe deeply, or be silent, honor it. Your physical vessel is awakening its own intelligence now, matching the awakening of your mind and emotional body. Type, "I honor my body," to claim this message. Energetically, a subtle shift in your boundaries is taking place. The Arcturians say your aura is thickening, not in heaviness, but in density and coherence. Imagine your energy field as a membrane that was once porous but is now becoming structured and self-regulating. This is why outside frequencies feel more distant, less invasive, even if you are still physically near Lorien or other energetically turbulent individuals. Their frequencies can no longer pass through your field without being neutralized. This thickening of your aura means you are entering a phase where you attract only what matches your chosen frequency. Chaos, confusion, and draining energies cannot penetrate unless you lower your vibration voluntarily, which you no longer do unconsciously. This marks the beginning of energetic sovereignty. Type, "I strengthen my field," to claim this message. Your intuition, already strong, is about to reach a new level of precision. The Council explains that your third eye center is recalibrating, clearing old fog and sharpening perception. You may start noticing intuitive flashes that arrive instantly, knowing things without knowing how you know them, sensing the emotions or intentions of others with uncanny accuracy, or feeling the energetic texture of a room the moment you step inside. This is not imagination, it is multidimensional perception returning. The interference from Lorien temporarily distorted your intuitive field, making sensations feel confusing or unreliable. Now that your field is stabilized, the fog lifts. Your intuition will no longer whisper, it will speak clearly and decisively. Trust it. It is the compass guiding you into your upgraded timeline. Type, "I trust my inner vision," to claim this message. The Arcturian Council reveals a hidden gift within this entire experience. Your ability to sense interference is now becoming a conscious skill rather than a random sensitivity. Before, you felt energetic shifts without understanding their origins, which often made you feel overwhelmed or confused. Now, your perception is becoming specific. You will be able to tell whether a sensation is yours or someone else's, whether a thought is internal or external, whether an emotion arises from your body or from the energetic environment. This discernment is one of the most powerful tools of an awakened starseed. With it, you will navigate life with far more confidence and autonomy. The Council says this clarity marks your transition from empath to energetic master. Type, "I discern with clarity," to claim this message. Your relationships may begin shifting as well. As your frequency rises, some people will feel drawn to you in new ways, sensing your stability and light. Others may drift away naturally, uncomfortable with the coherence of your upgraded field. This is not a loss, it is alignment. The Council explains that your field is now broadcasting at a higher resonance, which only harmonizes with individuals who are ready for authentic connection. You may notice sudden distance from those who used to drain your energy, or surprising closeness with people who were once peripheral. Allow these shifts. Your new frequency acts like a sorting mechanism, gently reorganizing your social world to reflect who you are becoming. Type, "I allow alignment," to claim this message. The Council concludes this segment with a reminder: you are not the same person you were even a week ago. The interference from Lorien Veilstrom was not a setback, it was the catalyst that launched you into the next phase of your awakening. Now your energy is stronger, clearer, more stable, and more sovereign than ever before. You are standing in a new vibrational landscape, one that responds to your intentions instantly and rewards your authenticity with synchronicity. The Arcturians say the next phase of your journey will reveal gifts you have not even imagined yet, abilities encoded in your soul long before this lifetime. What comes next will surprise you, empower you, and elevate you. Type, "I claim my new self," to finalize this segment. The Arcturian Council begins this next phase by revealing that your energetic signature is now bright enough to register across multiple dimensional layers. This means you're starting to exist consciously on more than one plane at once. You may notice strange moments of déjà vu, or feeling as if you briefly stepped out of time, like the world paused for a second and then resumed. These sensations are early markers of multidimensional alignment, your awareness stretching beyond the linear frame you were trained to believe was the whole reality. The interference from Lorien once blurred these perceptions, causing them to feel confusing or disorienting. But now, without static clouding your field, you will begin to notice these moments clearly. They may feel like flickers, like glimpses into a version of you that already knows what comes next. The Council says this is not your imagination, it is your higher dimensional self beginning to overlap with your current identity, integrating memory, intuition, and foresight into your everyday awareness. Type, "I align beyond time," to claim this message. As your multidimensional perception strengthens, you may begin sensing layers around people, subtle emotional or energetic textures that reveal what they are truly feeling beneath their words. The Council assures you this is not invasive, it is a natural ability resurfacing. You are learning to read resonance rather than appearance. This sensitivity was once overwhelming because you lacked filters, allowing emotional noise from others to flood your field. But now, with your aura thickening and stabilizing, you only receive information intentionally. You'll notice when someone is hiding sadness behind a smile, when someone's excitement is genuine, or when a person's words don't match their energy at all. This ability will dramatically improve your decision-making, relationships, and boundaries. Interference from people like Lorien once distorted this clarity, making it hard to distinguish your emotions from theirs. Now, that distortion is gone. What you feel is what is true. Type, "I read energy clearly," to claim this message. The Council now shifts your attention to your inner voice, your intuitive guidance system. They explain that this voice is growing louder, more confident, and more precise because the interference patterns have been cleared from your mental field. You may begin experiencing sudden insights that arrive with authority, as if someone whispered the answer to a question you hadn't fully formed yet. These insights come from your higher consciousness, which has been patiently waiting for your field to stabilize enough to receive its transmissions without distortion. The interference created mental echo chambers, amplifying doubts and burying intuitive truths under noise. With that noise gone, your inner wisdom rises like a resurfacing memory. The Council encourages you to trust the voice that speaks in calm, clear statements. It is your soul stepping forward. Type, "I listen to my inner truth," to claim this message. You are also entering what the Arcturians call a soul recall window, a period in which fragments of your deeper identity begin returning to your conscious mind. This may show up as vivid memories from childhood that suddenly make more sense, flashes of scenes from what feel like past lives, or sudden emotional reactions to symbols, places, or people you cannot logically explain. These are not random experiences, They are pieces of your multidimensional self resurfacing as the fog lifts. Each memory contains a frequency, and each frequency unlocks part of your dormant potential. The Council says you don't need to analyze these fragments, simply acknowledge them. Some may feel comforting, others intense, but all serve the same purpose: to remind you of who you were before interference, before conditioning, before forgetting. This is the reassembly of your soul. Type "I remember myself" to claim this message. Another shift is happening in your vibrational field. Your emotional frequency is becoming more refined. The Council explains that emotions are energy currents, each with its own texture and wavelength. Before, your field often blended your emotional currents with those of others, creating confusion or heaviness. Now, your emotional frequencies are separating into distinct streams. You may notice emotions feeling cleaner, even when they're intense. Sadness feels like sadness, not sadness mixed with someone else's anxiety. Anger feels like your anger, not a borrowed storm. This clarity allows you to process emotions quickly and accurately, without becoming entangled or overwhelmed. The Council says this separation is one of the greatest markers of sovereignty and a major sign that your soul anchor has fully engaged. Type "I own my emotions" to claim this message. The Arcturians want you to understand that your energy is beginning to influence your environment in ways you may not yet notice. When your frequency stabilizes at a higher level, your presence alone begins shifting the vibrational temperature of rooms, conversations, and interactions. People may feel calmer around you without knowing why. Technology may malfunction temporarily as it adjusts to your increased field strength. Animals may behave differently, drawn to you or unusually attentive. You may even find that conversations naturally move toward clarity and truth when you speak, as if your resonance organizes discordant energies around you. This influence is not forceful, it is natural. It is the sign of a starseed stepping into their authentic frequency. Type "I embody my influence" to claim this message. The Council now reveals another profound development. Your connection to your spirit guides is strengthening significantly. Their guidance may begin appearing in more noticeable ways, through repeating signs, songs playing at meaningful moments, overheard conversations that answer your questions, or sudden intuitive nudges that feel external yet familiar. Your guides have been supporting you through the interference, but the static surrounding your field made it harder for you to sense them. Now, with the static dissolved, their presence becomes clearer. You may not hear them through words, but you will feel their guidance as waves of certainty, warmth, or direction. This connection marks the early stages of telepathic attunement, where you learn to interpret subtle energetic communication as easily as intuition. Type "I hear my guides" to claim this message. There is also a physical consequence of this strengthening connection. Your nervous system is recalibrating to handle higher frequencies without overload. The Arcturians explain that many starseeds struggle with overstimulation, crowds, loud noises, chaotic environments, because their nervous system is built for multidimensional processing, not dense linear reality. Now, as your field stabilizes, the nervous system begins catching up. You may find yourself less reactive to stimuli that used to overwhelm you. Colors may feel softer, sounds less sharp, interactions less draining. This is the nervous system learning to ride higher frequencies instead of resisting them. You are becoming more resilient, not harder, but more fluid, like water moving with instead of against the current. Type I strengthen from within to claim this message. The Council shifts your awareness to the next stage of your unfolding, vibrational magnetism. As your field stabilizes, your ability to attract aligned experiences increases dramatically. This means opportunities, people, resources, and insights will begin finding you rather than you chasing them. Your frequency is becoming a beacon, broadcasting your intentions across subtle planes. This is why it's essential to align your thoughts with clarity and purpose, because the universe is now responding more quickly than ever before. You may notice conversations suddenly leading you toward solutions, unexpected messages arriving at perfect moments, or events aligning so smoothly it feels orchestrated. This isn't luck, it's resonance. Type I become a magnet to claim this message. Finally, the Arcturians offer this message of affirmation. The interference from Lorien was never meant to diminish you, it was a catalyst perfectly timed to elevate you. It pushed your field to its threshold, forcing old patterns to surface and dissolve. Now, because you recognize the interference rather than absorbing it, you have stepped into an entirely new vibrational landscape. Your intuition is sharper, your emotions clearer, your boundaries stronger, and your energy far more coherent than before. You are no longer navigating life half awake. You are becoming fully conscious of your power, your light, and your role in the unfolding of your timeline. The Council celebrates this moment with you. They say you have crossed the midpoint of your activation. What comes next will accelerate everything you've begun. Type I claim my ascension to finalize this segment. The Arcturian Council begins this final stretch by clarifying something vital. The neighbor you believed was interfering with your field was never meant to be interpreted as a physical human near your home. It was a symbolic representation of a dormant archetype inside you, a fragmented aspect of your psyche that resided next door to your conscious awareness. Much like a neighbor lives beside your physical space, this archetype lived beside your energetic and emotional space. The Council explains that this archetype, once named Lorien Veilstrom for the sake of metaphor, represented your unprocessed memories, outdated beliefs, and inherited emotional patterns. These patterns were never dangerous, they were simply loud. They knocked, they rattled, they demanded attention because they were ready to dissolve. You were never in physical danger, only at the threshold of transformation. And now, having recognized the symbolism, you can integrate the final pieces without fear or confusion. Type I understand the symbol to claim this message. With this understanding, the Council says the next step is integration, the process of welcoming back the parts of yourself you once rejected or misunderstood. These fragments often appear in dreams, emotional surges, or sudden memories. They show up as symbols, characters, or scenarios designed to speak to you in the language of the subconscious. The Council emphasizes that integration does not require reliving old pain, it requires witnessing. Simply acknowledging that a part of you felt unheard or unseen is enough to release its tension. The symbolic neighbor was knocking to remind you that you cannot ascend while disowning pieces of your own story. Every shadow was once a protector. Every suppressed emotion was once a survival instinct. Now, as your field becomes clearer, these fragments return not to disrupt your path but to bow out gracefully, handing back the power they carried. Type I integrate with love to claim this message. You may notice that as these fragments return to you, you begin feeling more emotionally whole. Where there were once gaps, confusion, numbness, scattered thought, there is now coherence. This coherence is the hallmark of an ascending consciousness. The Council describes it as the spherical mind, a state where truths arrive not linearly but all at once, like a complete picture appearing rather than being assembled piece by piece. This mind state is gentle, calm, and free from inner conflict. Instead of wrestling with decisions, you begin sensing the path that feels naturally aligned. Instead of analyzing every possibility, you feel the answer rise like a tide. This is the growing harmony between your human self and your multidimensional self. Confusion dissolves. Clarity becomes the new default. Type "I embrace coherence" to claim this message. The Council now shifts focus to your energetic environment, the internal landscape that shapes your external experiences. They explain that your field is now operating at a smoother, more consistent frequency. You may notice synchronicities increasing, relationships improving, and daily life flowing with fewer obstacles. This is not coincidence, it is resonance. When your internal environment stabilizes, the external world mirrors that harmony. Even challenges become less frustrating because you no longer interpret them as threats but as invitations to grow. The Council encourages you to treat each experience as a collaborator rather than an adversary. Life is not happening to you, it is happening with you. The shift in perception is subtle but profound, and it marks the difference between surviving and consciously creating. Type "I align with flow" to claim this message. Your intuition, which once felt like a whisper drowned out by emotional noise, now emerges as a clear, consistent inner navigation system. The Council compares intuition to the internal compass of migrating birds, not logical, but unmistakably accurate. You may find yourself drawn to new interests, new environments, or new people without knowing why. Trust these nudges. They are your soul guiding you toward the next aligned experience. The symbolic neighbor represented the interference that once clouded this guidance. Now, with that symbolism understood and integrated, the channel is open. You will notice that intuitive messages carry a certain feeling, a sense of rightness in the body, a soft expansion in the chest, or a quiet certainty in the mind. This is how your soul speaks, and now you are finally able to hear it. Type "I follow my inner compass" to claim this message. The Arcturians also explain that your emotional energy is becoming more expressive. You may find it easier to articulate your inner world, to set boundaries, or to express needs without guilt. This is not because you have become louder, it is because you have become clearer. Emotional clarity emerges when fragmentation dissolves. The symbolic neighbor once represented emotional echoes from the past, making it difficult to distinguish your authentic feelings from inherited ones. With that echo quieted, your emotional truth becomes unmistakable. You no longer default to saying, "I'm fine," when you are tired, overwhelmed, or needing support. You are learning to communicate from a place of self-respect rather than self-protection. This shift deepens every relationship you have, including the one with yourself. Type "I speak my truth" to claim this message. Finally, the Arcturian Council offers a message of completion and celebration. They affirm that this entire journey, from the first symbolic disturbance to the final integration, was orchestrated for your awakening. The neighbor, the interference, the shadows, the confusion, the insights, the calm that followed, all of it was part of a symbolic initiation designed to activate your next level of consciousness. You were never in danger, you were in metamorphosis. You have crossed from fragmentation into coherence, from reaction into awareness, from fear into sovereignty. The Council says you are now operating at a frequency capable of shaping timelines, healing generational patterns, and creating reality with intention rather than habit. They honor your courage, your persistence, and your willingness to evolve. This chapter ends, but your ascension continues. Type "I complete this activation" to claim this final message.